Tyrone Bowman live. According to CNN in the report, in the 11 years since the city's historic water crisis, Mays said, now let me read the headlines first. More than 10 years later, Flint declares its water safe after replacing lead pipes. But health issues and doubts persist. Melissa Mays said she may never trust the water from her Flint, Michigan tap again. So once again, according to CNN, in the 11 years since the city's historic water crisis, Mays said she has battled Legionnaire's disease, autoimmune and seizure disorders, high blood pressure, and other illnesses. Her youngest son, who is now 21, experienced speech delays as a child after unknowingly drinking lead-poisoned water, she added. May still believes the plumbing lines in her neighborhood are contaminated. The water from her faucets is often yellow and has a foul smell unless it is filtered, she said. So when Michigan submitted a progress report to a federal court in July stating it had completed the replacement of 11,000 lead pipes, restored 28,000 damaged properties, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency lifted its emergency order on Flint's drinking water earlier this year, Mays said she remained skeptical. Mays is among many Flint residents who said they have lost faith in lawmakers and elected officials after the water crisis devastated their community in 2014, and they still refuse to drink or bathe in the water without a filter. Flint is not fixed, said Mays, a leading activist in the fight for clean, safe, and drinking water in Flint. And we are not going to shut up and go away. Fix us properly because it's the right thing to do. Federal officials, however, insist Flint's water is now safe and meets the requirement of the EPA's Safe Drinking Water Act. Lifting this emergency order is a cause for great celebration for residents of Flint who worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this point. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin said in May, even though the emergency order is lifted, all levels of the government must continue to stay in contact and work closely to be a continued resource for the Flint community and ensure their water remains pristine. Flint's water crisis began in 2014 when local and state officials switched the city's supply from the Detroit system to the Flint River as part of a cost-cutting measure. Officials detected bacteria in the water in August 2014. Warnings were issued to residents, and subsequent testing revealed dangerous levels of lead in the water. Local pediatricians also raised concerns about a growing number of children with elevated lead levels in their blood. But Flint did not switch its water supply back to Detroit until October 2015. A landmark settlement reached in March 2017 required the replacement of every Flint resident's lead pipe after residents and nonprofit groups sued city and state officials for exposing the community to contaminated drinking water. The settlement also required officials to conduct tap water tests, distribute false filters, and provide education on their use and fund health programs for residents affected by the contaminated water. In a separate $600 million settlement, the state of Michigan agreed in 2020 to make direct payments to Flint residents affected by the water crisis. Nearly 80% of the funds are reserved for people who are under 18 when the crisis began. Flint's water crisis promoted or prompted a national call to action, with former President Joe Biden last year setting up a 10-year deadline for cities to replace lead pipes. At the time, Biden said more than 9 million lead pipes were still in use across the country. Lead can enter tap water when pipes and plumbing fixtures corrode. In children, lead exposure can cause hearing, speech, and behavioral problems, brain damage, and slowed growth. It has been linked, in adults, it has been linked to high blood pressure, joint pain, reproductive health issues, and cardiovascular disease. I will keep you updated on this story as more information is made available. Thank you for watching. Somebody says, well, she probably didn't know the water was contaminated. Some people can't afford bottled water. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Never surrender, never quit.